Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome on in, Rival Ryan. How are you? Thank you so very much to everyone that's here. I really do appreciate it. My glasses are crooked. I need to get those fixed pretty soon. I don't know why my face is so dark. I have like the light and everything. Doing pretty good. How are you doing? Life be life, but we're good. We're here. We're now. Life be life, but we're here. We're now. All that jazz. How are you doing, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Turn this on. Maybe this will help. Helps a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Okay. But yeah, chat. Let me turn up the music just a little bit. What you been up to, Ryan? Hopefully you're doing well. But yeah, right now we're just I'm just gonna be doing a few things to. I haven't been able to look at more Godot programming stuff as of right now, just because, once again, life be life. But I was thinking about doing a little bit before I go to bed tonight. But in the meantime, there's still stuff that I would like to, you know, figure out and do and all that. It's a little bit more of the creative side of things. So, yep. Just want to figure things out. Relaxing day, been lifting tires all week and starting to get back into attempting some doodling. Oh, really, dude? What are you drawing? What are you doing? G-Scotty's back. You know I'm back like I never left. How you doing, Pat? Welcome on in. To figure out what to do with the chat. One second. There we go. There we go. Okay. How you doing? You know, life is life, but hey, sometimes that's a fantastic thing, right? So yeah, it's there's a little bit of stresses here and there, but you know what? Actually, not here and there. There's a lot of stresses, but it's fine, you know? We're here, we're now. We just have a good time here. Let's make this an escape, you know? Random stuff, mostly whatever the kids ask me to draw. Yeah, dude. Can I be your kid? Can I can I ask for a random drawing? Speaking of which, hold on one second. I was watching some old videos of yours, and I saw it change to g-scotty. Are you saying like from Double Battle Brothers, or from g-scotty to r-scotty to back to g-scotty? Because I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Alrighty, so lads, we got a schedule to do. We gotta come up with an agenda, huh? From r-scotty to g-scotty? I got you. Did you know about that when I was when I used to be Double Battle Brothers, or? Alrighty. Coming up with an agenda. So, got a few things that we got to think about for today. I think we should come up with. I suspected that when your donation said that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that it did. Speaking of which, donate today for some sort of whatever. Don't actually do that. I'm just being a butt. I'm going to do rework membership benefits. I think that's something that we should do, especially since we're kind of changing the focus of the channel to the game deving and everything. Found $10. Oh. Nah, you don't owe me anything. I'm just happy you're here. I'm just being a butt as always. Trying to think. What is another... Oh. I am making a Discord server for everyone, and members get like certain benefits, like having game nights with me and everything. Me split dollar with you. I mean, I'll never turn it down, but you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of discussion about how we're gonna rework memberships to make it more beneficial for you guys, one. And two, just like, you know, what are some things that you would like, especially since we have Mr. Patter. We also have Rival Ryan. I think this would be really good to have you guys in on the conversation with it. Because you're both members, but I would like to know what I can do to make all of this more worth it for you guys. And maybe find like different reworks and everything with this, that, the other. So let's see. So rework membership benefits. I think we should talk about channel content. And then... So this is all very external stuff from the game itself, but I would like to talk a little bit about, for all tiers. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's still going to be the same, like, amount and everything, but I just want, because I'm not going to be doing $1 an hour, or I'm not going to be doing, like, a couple of things for the perceivable future, just because, you know, I'm going to be going into a very different kind of focus with... You know, starting from game dev day 0 to however long it takes. But then I do want to talk a little bit about the game itself. So I'm trying to think of something that we can do for it. Maybe we could start with... Let's do lore time. Start with lore time. And then maybe we could also do rough platformer ideas. Let's do sketches of them, actually. So yeah, I think that's what we should do in today's stream. What's up, One Step? Here to lurk while I work. Say what's up and keep killing it. Hey, how you doing, One Step? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully work's treating you well. Thanks so very much for making me part of your day, for coming in, smashing that like button, all that jazz. I really appreciate it, man. Okay. So, what are we thinking? Should we work on... Of course, of course. Do you guys want to go over briefly the channel stuff first before we go into the game? I think that's what we'll do, but like... I don't know, unless what do you guys want to see? Just while we're getting warmed up with everything. Yas. Yas. Okay. So, here's game then member stuff. Okay, you want to do some of the game stuff first? Gotta work on that stuff first. Okay, you know what? We'll do like a rough idea of it, because I do want to get this out of, I mean, I say it as like a negative thing of like getting this out of the way. I'm not saying that as a negative thing. I do want to spend more time with this. So what I might do is I'll spend like a little bit of time coming up with some things with the lore. Maybe we'll give it like 45 minutes. Maybe we'll even do like less time than that. And then we'll kind of go into just a few little things here, and then we'll reconvene after we talk about all that. But sure, let's go with game lore. I'll make sure that you guys can see it. Okay, so here's kind of what because we had a little bit of a discussion beforehand about what it was going to be. Where is the folder? Working on a game and a book. So I am currently working on a book, and that's almost about to be published pretty soon. But when it comes to the game stuff, I guess I like just basically say this to anyone that's wondering, like, oh wait, what's going on with like all of this? I thought this, that, the other. Sorry, I had a point. I had a point, 1 second. I had a point. What is going on? There we go. Oh gosh. Sorry, chat, give me 1 second. We're almost done. We're almost done with the shenanigans. Okay. So basically, what's going on with like the channel and everything is, when it comes to the $1 an hour stuff, I love doing it, but my current trajectory of life, I guess I should say, for lack of a better term, I just can't really afford doing that right now, which is really unfortunate and really sad, but it is just what it is. So I have to, I was trying to like think of something that I could do, and then I was like, you know what, like I really wanted to do roguelikes, and so I started focusing just on roguelikes, and then I realized I was not having like any fun doing it, and it was just making me really, really miserable. And so I was like, well, I need to do something. And then I was told by some very lovely, lovely people that like what would help me out of like kind of what's going on right now, which once again, I don't want to really talk about it right now, but it was just like, you know, like learning something new, doing something new would help me out quite a bit. And I was like, you know what, I really like that idea. And I was like, you know what, I want to learn how to do like make a video game. Just day one, I want to figure it out. I want to learn an engine, and I want to go. And so I was like, okay, that's really, really cool. But like, I just don't really have enough time for it with, you know, everything that I got to do. And then I was like, well, maybe what I'll do is I'll use YouTube as a platform to like kind of document my journey from not knowing anything about game deving into eventually releasing like a little video game or something like that. So that's what I decided to do. That's what we're going forward with. Especially since like with the, you know, with what's going to be coming up in the future, both with my personal life and with like the book and everything. I can't really like super hard commit to a bunch of things. Like I need like something that I can be flexible with when it comes to YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I want to like, you know, I still want to commit to every weekday. I stream for, you know, 3 hours or so, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less, you know, just depending on the day. So Monday through Friday, I want to commit to that. But that's also why we're kind of talking about, with like the agenda, like talking about reworking, like, you know, what kind of channel content you guys want to see for like videos, what you guys want to see with member benefits and stuff like that, and then like opening up a Discord and everything like that. So it'll be easier on me, plus it'll actually give you guys like more stuff to like deal with when it comes to, you know, this direction that I want to take the channel. Very cool and very interesting decision. I love it and wish you the best, my dude. Thanks, One Step. I really do appreciate it. It's definitely something where, like, if I could afford it, I would stick with the $1 an hour format because I think that's really, really fun. And I think a lot of people really appreciate it, and I appreciate it, and it's just like something that I think really works. And it's just like financially just impossible for me right now, which makes me really, really sad. But I just need to like work on what I can, and do what I can and make the most of the situation that I'm in. So that's why I was like, you know what, I really want to make a video game. And then like in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, I can't do that because I don't know where to start. I don't know anything like that. And I was like, I could just, give myself all these excuses and then never do it anyway. Or I can learn and I can better myself, and it would be frustrating. But hey, if Hunger Games taught me anything, sometimes seeing really frustrating situations on television helps. I'm just kidding. Their situations were much more than just frustrating. But I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, you know what, I could just mope about it or I could do something about it. And yeah, this might not be ideal to pivot so drastically with content, but I might as well do something that's not just complaining about my current situation. So that's where I am with everything. So right now I feel like I'm drowning in an ocean with figuring everything out. But at the same time, I think this is going to be a really good experience. I want to prove to you guys that if you want to make something happen, but you're too afraid because it's like, just like something so out of your league, or at least what you think it is, because that's how I feel about this. I want to prove that if I can do it, anyone can. So let this channel be like a complete social experiment or whatever. So, yeah. And Alex, we can talk more like in the DMs and everything about like just some things, but yeah, everything's good. Well, not everything's good, but like everything will work out. We'll put it that way. So we're figuring it out day by day. Just don't give up, my guy. Yeah, I don't want to. DM whenever, my guy. That is always open. I appreciate it. I'll DM you. You can always message me back through vocal recordings, which I love, by the way. I think it's super awesome. All right, but chat, let's talk a little bit about the game lore, and then we'll talk a little bit about the channel stuff, because right now, Pat wanted that, and Pat pays me, so therefore I'm at his whim and whimsy. When I have a lot to say, I hate typing. No, you're good, dude. I get it. Lore time. All right, back to game lore. All right, chat. Let's talk game lore for a little bit. Let's talk about game lore for a little bit. So let's bring up the idea board real quick. So this is what we know about it. So basically right now we know that the setting is going to be a very in shambles civilization that has gone from the earth into the sky. There's a lot of darker elements to it, but that's basically what we know surface level, at least for right now. Now, we can try figuring out a few things. How did the civilization get into the sky? That's a question that we have. Oregon's land and air. That is a possibility. I don't know for sure, because I want it somehow to tie into the game, the gameplay loops and everything. So the idea of people being on the what we know as the surface, like why do people want to go up from why do people want to go up to this destroyed civilization? I think something that we could discuss and think about is people on the ground looking for something in the sky. So that's a point that we can make, is there's a reason why the player character is getting sent into the sky all the time. I would like there to be a cute little lore. How do I remember? Lore explains why we what is it called? I don't know why this terminology is escaping me. Why we respawn. So we have to figure out a couple of those things. Right now we need to think of like other questions as well. Let's see, what time period is this? Vibe, setting, etc. I think it would be really, really cool if it was like a strange mix of like science fiction and fantasy a little bit. I don't know for sure how that would work, if it would be like how Tunic does it, or it's like very medieval until something is very technological, and that's like kind of the point, is like the two worlds kind of bashing against each other. Or it could be kind of like a even like more interwoven mix. Why do we get a second chance? Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, we could write it off as simply like the people of the ground have a technology where if you die you get respawned, but I think it would be a lot more interesting if there was a different reason for it, you know? Like, having the technology and everything, I think, is kind of a little bit done. So I think it would be interesting if there was like some sort of reason for their eternal struggle, rather. Maybe. Here's an idea that I'm kind of having right now. What if we did... What's a good little thing that I'm thinking of right now? Maybe an idea is... main character is tied to the bosses somehow, sharing their invincibility, for lack of a better term. Kind of the idea of that is like, maybe the main character's like always cursed to kill these dudes and everything, but then like later on you figure out that they've been cursed with immortal life and everything, so you in turn always have to fight them or something like that. Once again, this is a very rough idea, but if there was like some sort of connection between the bosses and your player character, I think that would be kind of interesting. So if there's like curses and everything like that, I feel like it would go to say that there's a lot of almost mystical kind of stuff. I like how I say stuff. You know, this is me just thinking. I'm really terrible at like all of this. Also, chat, if you haven't already, would you mind hitting that like button and sharing this stream with at least one person? I would really, really appreciate the help. But as for how the civilization got into the sky, maybe we could... maybe we can like somehow... I don't know, there's a couple of ideas. They did a deal, but it had a curse side effect. Well, I'm kind of wondering something along those lines, like when it comes to like how the civilization got into the sky. Because I want it to be like a ruined post-apocalyptic kind of thing, and there's a reason why like it's all fragmented and everything. Let's do a little bit of research, actually. Let's do a little bit of research. Accepted a deal and got cursed. It's entirely possible. Let me see something. What can affect something's gravity? What can affect gravity? UAI. What disrupts gravity? All matter, all mass creates gravity, so the presence of a large mass near Earth would disturb the Earth's gravity. For example, we are familiar with the tides that are produced by the sun and the moon. Did you know that even mountains can make slight whatever in gravity? So we can say that like maybe something is like holding the civilization or something in the sky. We could say like that as like a literal kind of thing. Let me think. We got to do a little bit of thinking, chat. We got to put on our thinking noggins. Maybe we can actually like come back to that, because even if it's just like, oh, this world is in the clouds and everything like that, maybe we could even just say that. But let's see. Lore explains why we respawn, and that's what kind of what we like talked about a little bit. What time period is this? I'm thinking. Let's see. Let's think about the vibe for a second. I think it would be really cool if it was fantasy, because that's like my favorite genre of anything. Fantasy that has been infected or mingled. If I could spell, that'd be great. With science fiction. Something kind of with that vibe around it. I don't know if I would say that it's necessarily like Tunic, where it's the two worlds that are like, you know, clashing with each other, but I think it would be kind of interesting to see that kind of vibe. Let's do that. Sorry, chat. Okay. So, we could say that's kind of like the vibe of it. It's like people are still wearing like some like quote unquote like stereotypical medieval things. People fight with swords and everything, but maybe there's like some sort of like piece of it that's been mingled with technology. Maybe that could be part of the reason. Is like maybe technology, you know, I say technology is a very loose term, but maybe like the more science fiction-y kind of side of things is... Hold on a second. Here's an idea. How about people are trying to snuff out magic with tech? Maybe that could be something that we go for. Is like, this world is very, very like magical, but magic is almost a lost art or something like that. And so we could say that like there's been this like fight for, you know, trying to keep the old ways of magic and like the beauty and everything that comes with it, but everyone who might either not be with magic or like more towards progression with technology see magic as like kind of a threat. Maybe? I don't know. Once again, this is more like just me throwing mashed potatoes against the wall and seeing what sticks. Because I say that, and even like me saying that, it's a fine idea. I just don't know how it would translate that well to, because I think it would be good for the bosses to also be kind of like mythological instead of them being tech, so it wouldn't make too much sense. So maybe I'll keep it up, but I don't know if I like the idea enough to pursue it. Throwing cold potatoes in the oven. Pretty much. Let's see. I guess we can do something where... Let's think about a theme. Because, like, I think every good story has some sort of theme that is its, like, backbone. I do want to keep it simple because I think the simpler the theme, the more you can do with it. Arvalo, how you doing? Welcome on into the stream. How's life treating you? Thank you so much for dropping in, hitting that like button, sharing the love. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Right now we're just kind of coming up with like some very rough little ideas for the game lore, for everything like that. Let's talk about possible themes, chat. When I think of roguelikes, when I think of the Soulsborne games or anything like that, what I normally think about is overcoming adversity and trying again. Once again, I don't really want the story to be so in your face for this game. I don't want it to be like, oh, adversity, try again kind of thing. I think it would be a lot more potent and powerful if we allow the players to learn as they play, instead of hand-holding them, being like, oh, did you get it? This is what it is. Are you paying attention? Are you paying attention? Here's the chapstick. Are you I didn't have keys with me. So I think with maybe like instead of like a theme, I mean, I think we keep the word theme, but I think maybe instead it would be a much better thing for us to find a theme of like a vibe theme. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Okay, so for example, Elden Ring, if we go to Elden Ring for an example, I don't know how many people have played it, but a very big theme of it is gold and the significance of gold and clinging to power that has already been destroyed. You know, a lot of the themes of Elden Ring are, you know, golden and everything, what gold does. And then also having... I'm trying to figure out how to say this. It's basically like saying, like, just like trying to hold on to a broken system and making it work for you. So, with that... maybe what we can do is we can think of a possible theme kind of like that, where it's like, what's important to this story? What is an important thing to this story that we can put on the forefront? I know, let's see. Like, this is where my brain likes to like think, but other times I don't know how fun it is to watch. Because it's like, oh, what's the kind of story that I want to tell? And then I have to like dig into my head and everything. So if we look at like my book, for example, a huge theme of it is finding hope. Like that is a big thing, is just like finding hope and then discovering the power that's inside of you. What with like the main character and everything, being someone completely literally out of his element, out of his own world, learning how to have to become the strongest person in this world that he's in. So what do I want the player to feel in this? What do I want the player to feel? What are some things I think a big thing that I would like for the player to feel, for the kind of vibe that we're going for, is overcoming. Overcoming the odds. Perseverance, having to play over and over to preserve the challenges, bosses, platforms, enemies, etc., etc. Yeah, exactly. I like that. Staying determined. I'd like to know how to spell that. Thank you. Overcoming the odds, perseverance. Well, I mean, this is how I want to... Hold on one second. That's a good theme. But what do I want to feel? I think there could be something to be said where it's like, I want people to feel dread. Like, okay, so when I think of the Souls games as well, I think they have this really good balance. Like, whenever I play Elden Ring, there is always something to be said of like feeling this dread of having to fight a boss, and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, but like as soon as you fight him, they strike a balance of it where it's like not too much dread, where you start just being like, I'm not having fun with this, and instead it's enough dread where you're just like, yeah, but maybe I could do this. Is that Undertale? Wait a minute, are we playing Undertale now? So I think like dread, but maybe mixed with, there's got to be some reason to come back. Sense of discovery. I think I touched on it a little bit with the game, with the idea board, but having a lot of like Souls elements with like the story not just being like in your face, I think would be something that really helps with the sense of discovery. So maybe like that's what keeps people coming back. There has to be, let's see, when you guys have a challenge in a video game that's like really, really difficult, what keeps you coming back? And like not just giving up on it out of curiosity. Because even with me, like with me, there's I've only platinumed 2 games in my whole life. I think. Yeah, I think I've only platinumed ever 2 games. And one of them was Spider-Man 2, and then the other one was Elden Ring. With Spider-Man 2, I felt like I was obliged, like I had to do it because I was making a review on it. And I think the other part of it was like, you know, all this busy work and everything. I remember there was a lot of it where I was just not having fun with it. So, but as soon as I got it, I had the sense of accomplishment, but at the same time, I think a lot of it had to do with like, oh, I never have to do this again, which is not what I want for the game, especially for a roguelike. I want people to want to keep coming back. So I guess we have to think about, you know, what would keep a player coming back for a roguelike. I think roguelikes are very built in. Like, if you're into roguelikes, then you play them a lot. It's like a Slay the Spire. I keep going back to it because I want to keep practicing and want to keep you know, getting that perfect run or getting that perfect, not perfect synergy. So maybe like powerful in synergy. I don't know if that's how you actually spell synergy. Okay. Feeling of reaching perfection. So like sniffing out and finding the right like combination of things that make you just really powerful. I'll say eventually powerful. Cuz I need that like dread to be instilled. But like I want it to be like where people can look and say like, "Whoa, wait a minute." Like that fix of I was really, really weak and then all of a sudden I can become really, really strong. I do think that would be really, really good. Usually go back to a challenge for that feeling of accomplishment. I see. Okay. So yeah, perseverance is a possible theme. I like the idea. I like the ideas that we have. When you find that OP combo, but you still want more, so you keep going back. So it's basically like learning how to min-max and break the game. Which, I mean, like, I feel like roguelikes do really, really well on their own. So I think that's something that we'll have to make sure that is really, really refined when we actually get into the programming, is like just figuring out ways to make things work really well, if that makes sense. So it's like, with all the mechanics, we just need to find a way to make them really polished and really fun, and really satisfying to get. If you think about games like Balatro, it's very simple how they do that, but just like the simplicity makes it really, really satisfying because it's still really difficult. So it's like easy to learn, hard to master kind of thing. I'm gonna find a way to break it. Good. I hope so. Let's say this real quick. Okay. So we have the easy to learn, hard to master kind of side of things. Okay. So that's really good stuff that we can think about once things get a little bit closer. I don't know if we have to really focus on it right now, but I'm glad that we are talking about it. So let's see. If we talk about the game lore, though, how did the civilization get in the sky? And maybe that's something that we can think about a little bit later. For now, though, we just know there's something that has made us, like, a huge mass of the land come to... Actually, hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to rename this to... Thoughts and Such. Okay, and this one, we're going to go lore. A hulking... what? Can you guys see this alright, or do you need me to zoom in? Let me zoom in a little bit. Powerful presence disturbs the Earth's the planets. Let's do planets. Just because I don't really want it to be based on our world or anything. A hulking powerful presence disturbs the planet's gravity. Oh, 1 second. Let me do this. Pulling a large portion of the surface to the sky. The presence, I'll say, is still lingering in the sky. I mean, it could be something kind of akin to Galactus from Marvel. I don't know if you guys know that character, but like he's just this huge thing that eats planets. I mean, he could shrink and everything, but what if like something like him came and was like here to threaten and destroy things, and so like when he was getting close to the planet, like gravity started being affected and it like launched a lot of things into the sky, and for some weird reason he's stuck there now. Maybe he's like dead or something like that, but like it made like gravity just do wacky things. We're gonna have the main currency. And why is the currency the currency? Physics, which cause massive amounts of land to start levitating. Yeah. I'll put that in here. Money. I think that does go under. Though it has died. Here comes the money. Here we go. Presence is still lingering in the sky, though it has died. Would it be too Undertale for me to say that, like, the heralds of this, like, presence, whatever it is, seek, like, some sort of soul to bring it back to life? I don't know if that would work, though. Like, with the game. I mean, it could. No, it's not. I mean, I'm just thinking because they need the soul of a human to leave the underworld. I mean, I know that's not necessarily what I'm saying is happening, but maybe, like, the main character's, like, soul is somehow really important to the bad guys or something, and so that's why, like, they're after you. They need, like, 10 souls. Fair enough. Main character is somehow, once again, no, I'll say connected to the presence and is the only thing, or is the only one, rather, one that can destroy it for good. I'm so bad at spelling, and I am releasing a book very soon. You'll love to see it. However, they are also the key that could... Well, I mean, maybe it's not necessarily the key, because if they kill us all the time, then we have to have a lore reason why, like, we keep coming back and why it doesn't end up working for them. Kicking a pillow around trying to find ideas. Trying to think. So main character is connected to the presence and is the only one that can destroy it for good. Trying to think, because then let's see. Sorry, Chad. I'm like trying to think, because if this was the case, then like if they were looking for this character, why would they not come to the Earth? Like, why are they? Maybe I'm not saying that it's died. 1 second. Unresponsive. Okay. So what if we said, like, why would we want to reclaim this land? Why is it important to us, besides it being, like, you know, a part of our world and everything? Like, why can only we... Why are, like, we the only ones that can do it? I don't know. Maybe that could be like part of the power set. Main character is a vessel who can take the abilities of those around them and use it for themselves. Maybe we can say, maybe it not going to the Earth because it wants to sacrifice someone to try to and defeat it, because it wants to sacrifice some... Wait, maybe it's not going to the Earth, so the presence is not going to the Earth because it wants to sacrifice someone to try and defeat it. Why would it want something to defeat it, though, is my question. What's up, Wesley? Right now we're just coming up with some lore stuff. Welcome on into the stream. Thank you so much for hitting that like button and sharing the stream out and giving me your life savings. How you doing? Just kidding. Maybe it wants a challenge. I mean, fair enough. I'm trying to think of, like... It's bored of just eating planets. No, I'm not saying we make Galactus. I'm just saying, like... I don't know. Former physics student in me wants to point something out. You can overcome gravity, but you cannot affect it. Gravity is one of the 4 fundamental forces. What about this, though? It says, presence of a large mass near Earth would disturb the Earth's gravity. Right? What are the 4 fundamental forces? Hold on a second. Sounds gnarly. 4 fundamental forces. The strong force, the weak force, the electromagnetic force, and the gravitational force. So what does all this have to... How does this... Now I'm just like very much in the sauce of it right now, because now I'm just like, what? who's being affected by gravity, I can say it is affected somehow. Gravity is so weak that it is weaker than a force called the weak force. Really? I would like a very simple definition as to how all of these... So how did the 4 of these interact together? Out of curiosity. Gravity does not interact well with the other 3. As in, we don't know. So, what does electromagnetism, weak force, and strong force, like, what do they do together? I'm hitting combos on my poor pillow, crazy. Quantum physics and general relativity actually contradict each other. This is why I hate science. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's really interesting, but, like, what the heck? That's why I picked math and not science. This is why I'm a YouTuber. Because all you smart people. Okay, so what if we said, like... in the hub world... someone has been cursed with immortality or something like that, where it's like the vessel can interact with this person, and that's why they keep spawning again, is because this creature or this person or whatever, this force is being able to take them back. I don't know. If you need math, I will be your math guy. Perfect, I appreciate it. But yeah, Wesley, you should tell me how, with gravity not interacting well with the other 3, like, what do the other 3 do? Like, Hold on, what are some fictional examples of, like, someone who's immortal? Let me look this up. Bring this out. Okay, let's see. Fictional examples of... Or how about we do mythological examples of immortality. Strong force holds protons together. They would repel without it, and they're called electromagnetism, magnets. Pretty self-explanatory. Strong force holds protons together. Okay. Okay, hold on one second. I don't want this. I want, like, concepts of... Let's see. Concepts of life in mythology. Because I know there's the Yggdrasil. But, like, how would you classify Yggdrasil? Weak force is what keeps quarks together inside subatomic particles. Okay. Yggdrasil is an immense and central sacred tree in Norse cosmology. Around it exists all else, including the 9 worlds. Okay. But, like, what would you classify Yggdrasil as? Like... Oh, hold on. There we go. I know, Wikipedia. Yeah, I know. Sue me. Jokes aside, I don't care if your game uses some hand-waving science. I only get bugged if you try to scientifically justify something that breaks science. Fair enough. I'm only saying, like, because, like, I saw... Oh, like... Because I'm wondering how on earth... Like, if I'm not saying that like I want to like make things like super scientifically possible, because I don't think that's really in my wheelhouse. But like if I was to say gravity has been affected, and I want kind of a way to explain how gravity could be affected without saying it because magic, you know, with at least sounding a little bit more believable than just a wizard did it, you know. Hey, what's up, Pain Baseball? How you doing? Example out of care, the Hulk gets his power something gamma radiation. By together, they say Ant-Man doesn't lose mass when shrinking when he's very clearly does. Okay, that's fair. I get that. Pain Baseball, how you doing? Welcome on into the stream. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for hitting that like button and sharing this stream with a friend. I appreciate you. What if the character just doesn't come back? It's always game over. It's kind of like Katana Zero. You die, you're just dead. Went down the wrong tube. Oh golly. Excuse me. Game just deletes itself and you have to buy it back. It's a bold idea, to say the least. One second. Is there a god of gravity in Norse mythology? Freyr is what? Game just deletes. Don't give AAA Studios ideas. Yeah, true. Doing mediocre, just need some rest. How's your gaming progress? Right now, I'm just learning the engine off in the background. Right now, I wanted to get like some ideas for things that I would like to do. What's up, Kepson? How you doing? I think there is a game that just deletes itself if you get the bad ending and you cannot replay it even if you'd re-download it or something. I've heard of it before. I just don't know exactly what that is. But yeah, gravity wasn't discovered until the 1600s, so not likely. However, I'm not well versed in Norse, so I'm willing to admit I'm wrong. I mean, if it was only discovered, then... Okay, hold on one second. Who discovered gravity? That was Newton, right? Yeah. Change the way we understand the universe. Okay. What if the big bad guy was an apple? I'm just gonna... The pillow is starting to tear. Okay. I'm actually the one that discovered gravity? Based. Love it. Just an apple with a Newton on top of it? Yeah, dude. That'd be crazy. Okay, so here's kind of the idea that I am going with. One, because hand wavy a little bit, which I think is fine. But two, I kind of like this idea a little bit that I'm thinking of. Someone has been cursed with immortality and uses the vessel as its herald, basically. So like something is keeping this this immortal thing down and it can't move or anything like that, so it uses the vessel as like a willing like herald to like destroy this force that it deems evil or something like that. I don't know. Isaac Newton was the name of the apple. People just get us mixed up. Nice. I am gravity. Ooh. We could all fly until Newton said we couldn't. SMH. Dude, Newton ruins everything, man. What a party pooper. We could even say that, and then, like, I can work on the lore of... I like the idea of, like... This music is so perfect for this. I like the idea of kind of having this immortal creature that has, like, all of this knowledge and everything, and, like, the ability to give strength and everything, and that's where like game mechanically, like that's where you get like your starting gifts and everything. And then maybe like vesselage is just like something that it can like bless you with. Hold on a second. In exchange for, I'm just writing things because this is what I have to do as an author. In exchange for the vessel's soul, the immortal fills, or the immortal gives it the ability. Here, let's do this. Hold on a second. In exchange for the player character's soul, the immortal gives them the ability to harness outer magics, granting them the title of vessel. So it's basically like you have to give up your soul and become hollow to Hollow Knight in order to like take other people's magics and put it in. So maybe that could be like a part of like the gameplay mechanic and like the story is like this immortal being that can't move or anything like that. They enlist the help of certain people to kind of like become vessels, and maybe there's a lot of different vessels, but you're like very capable for some weird reason. I don't know. The Hollow Soul. Immortal, isn't that the guy from I love that. Great reference, great reference. I don't know. Hold on one second. I think Vessel is actually, I mean, besides being the name of a great singer and musician, Hollow Knight main character. Oh, it's the Knight. Okay, I don't know why I thought it was the Vessel. Okay. You gotta suck the power around you. Well, I mean, I think that would be like... Here, I'm gonna delete this part. The vessel is tasked to absorb the power of the immortals, and these are all placeholder names, by the way. The immortals' enemies, and defeat them once and for all. Something kind of like that. Still haven't watched season 3. I haven't either. I heard it's actually pretty good. I heard it's very good. Yeah, I only watched like the first episode of season 2, and then I haven't really been able to watch it all that much. So maybe that's like, I don't know, chat. What are we thinking about this? So we're saying a hulking, powerful presence disturbs the planet's gravity. Also, this is very rough. This is the first time that we're writing all this down, and we're just kind of throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. Obviously, we can change things, yada yada, but let's say a hulking, powerful presence disturbs the planet's gravity, pulling a large portion of the surface of the sky. The presence is still lingering in the sky, though it is unresponsive. In exchange for the player's character's soul, the immortal gives them the ability to harness outer magics, granting them the title of Vessel. The Vessel is tasked to absorb the power of the immortal's enemies and defeat them once and for all. Really liking season 3. A lot of people dipped on season 2 because it was setup heavy part of the comics, so the show slows down a lot there. I like setup though. I don't know. I'm that weirdo that's just like, yo, I like the setup and like the little like things here and there. Season 3 of what? The show's called Invincible. Title card. So okay. So that kind of explains if the setup is good. I like it. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think if you do setup really, really good, I think it's even cooler than a bunch of action. I don't know. Sometimes. That's kind of like why I like Fellowship of the Rings the most out of the 3. Like, I think the entire trilogy of Lord of the Rings is fantastic, but I think the setup that Fellowship of the Rings gives is my favorite, just because it's like establishing things and makes things really, really interesting. I don't know. I really like it. Season 2 was good. Yeah, exactly. But, okay, so also, is the character immortal? So kind of, so that's where things are a little bit, where we're getting a little bit fuzzy on details because we haven't really thought about it. So I'm saying that like this, immortal person, anyone that serves her is granted immortality, kind of. Like they could still die. So that's like the gameplay loop is like, yeah, you go, you try to conquer, you die, and then you respawn with her, you know? And so that's kind of like the idea. Invincible, right? Oh, I liked it, but I also read up the comics, so I knew what it was setting up for, so I was able to be patient. Yeah, fair enough. So, yeah, I think the character does have immortality, but can still die. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. It's kind of like, I mean, I don't know if anyone's watched the movie yet. It's very new. But I mean, like, the basic concept of, like, Mickey 17 is, like, this dude that, like, can die, but just be brought back over and over again. So it's kind of like that. He can die, but he comes back. Yeah, pretty much. So it's like, a good way of thinking about it, Kepson, if you look at Dead Cells, you have the beheaded, and like he dies, but something keeps bringing him back, you know? Saw the trailer for the movie. Yeah. So kind of like that, where it's like, yeah, you can die and like lose all your progress and everything, but something always keeps bringing you back. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, what's up, 3? What's up, Johnny boy? How you doing? Dig the concept. Is there something that gives the player progress per run? I ask, having played Torchlight, which has a different kind of mechanic rather than skill ups. Can you explain what Torchlight does? Because I've never heard of it. But that keeps the player's progress through the run is something where I'm not entirely sure yet, because I would like it to be a roguelike where things get like very like random, like reset most of the time. But even with Slay the Spire, for example, a really good example of a roguelike, because it is a roguelike, there is a certain like unlocks and everything. So it's like you can unlock different kinds of artifacts or different kinds of things here and there. Sometimes you get like different cards. So I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to. I think whether or not I'm gonna make it a roguelike or a roguelite is depending on like, you know, when we get into the programming and everything, like what I think would be fun for it. Once again, I am leaning more towards roguelike, where things just completely reset. But I am not going to just bar off the idea of making it a roguelite. Kind of like a character's powers in Smallville. Gotcha. Yeah. Torchlight is a Diablo 2 clone, but how New Game Plus works was you pick an item to pass down to your descendant. Next run, that item has lower requirements and better skills. Each item can be upgraded 10 times. Okay. I don't know for sure, but that idea is pretty cool, actually. Also, I don't think he can die naturally, like he will never die of old age, but he can be killed if something gives him a fatal injury. Oh, are you talking about Invincible, or are you talking about... what are we talking about? So yeah, kind of the idea with this is like you have the same character, and something connects him to this like immortal person. And when you die in the sky and everything, your soul retreats back to her, and then you're born again, and then you have to like restart and do it all over again. Talking about Immortal from Invincible. Oh, dang. Suggesting an alternative to the you get a resource in run to upgrade skills on page is a bit too common in my mind. Wait, I'm just suggesting an alternative to the you get a resource in run to upgrade skills on a page. It's a bit too common. Okay. Immortal, as long as his body stays attached, he will heal and be revived. Ah. So my knowledge on Norse mythology is limited, but here's an idea. Okay. Because I think it'd be kind of cool if, like, the presence was somehow linked to, like, a crow or, like, some sort of, like, bird-like creature. And just, like, have it be a nod to Norse mythology. Obviously, I don't want this to be, like, a Norse mythology kind of game. I don't want to make Hades, but Norse, you know? But, like, having a nod, maybe, like, this immortal creature is, like, stuck in a tree or something like that. You know? And so it's, like, kind of an homage to Eternal Life of the Yggdrasil. And then you could have, like, a serpent or something in there as well. Kind of like an homage to the Serpent of Order. And then you have, like, a crow, the bird of death. I don't know the official names of the snake or the crow, but yeah. So this immortal soul travels out, then back. Have you considered a 2-run model, the body out and the soul back? That'd be kind of interesting. If, like, in a run you die, and then, like, your soul kind of carries on, and maybe you have, like, a different limited kind of thing. I don't know if, like, I have the prowess or the knowledge to make that happen, especially since it's, like... I understand that this is ambitious for a first game, but, like, heck, why not, you know? Might as well. If I'm going to make something, I might as well make something. And yeah, it's not going to be, like, the most perfect thing that I want, and it's not going to be, like, exactly what I want, but, you know, I wanted to start somewhere. But I like the idea of that 3. Big thing is dying with glory. What if you have a way not to come back from the dead, but actually stop yourself from dying, but you have to go back? What? Kind of like how Zag always dies in Hades. Even if you win a run, your character dies a glorious death if you make it to the end. I mean, kind of he died. I mean, other times the narrator just says, like, oh, by the way, he slipped on a banana peel. 2 different styles of play. Maybe the soul run back as a mini game. Okay, interesting. I don't know how that would work, but I mean, like, I do like the idea of that quite a bit. If you're not ambitious, you're... I forgot. Not immediately sure how that would tie in with another run yet. Yeah. Trying to think. So the idea of it is we don't have a soul. The idea is we're an empty husk, right? Not be an annoying obstacle. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm not really sure that, like, I mean, obviously if we play test it, it's annoying, sure. But I mean, like, if you can make it fun, I could see, like, anything working with it. I think something that we have to remember is this character doesn't have a soul anymore. He traded it over for the power of, like, being reborn, and we have to think about that, plus mixed with, like, losing all of the... You know what we could do is have a mechanic where... And stop me if this sounds dumb. Risk versus reward, you don't want to make it inconsequential. What if we had a mechanic where, as you're going back... Let's say you die in... Here, let's pull this up for a visual. I like visuals. Let's say you go through level 1, level 2, level 3. Let's say you die here. And then you have to like be respawned back to the beginning. What if you go here, 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 you make it back to here, and then like at the end or the beginning of this level, you find your old body or something, and then you pick it up, and then it gives you like one random power that you had in your previous run, or even like a, I don't know, either it like gives you one or you have to like choose one that you lost last time. Does that sound like an idea, or does that sound like a weird idea? Like, I don't know. I kind of like it. I think I would have to work on the kinks, but yeah. I mean, the minigame could be something that helps you retrieve some souls back on revive. If you fail, you get 0. Kepson, you know, be a good idea is like you could do that in the hub world. Is like have someone be like, hey, I'm trying to like, yeah, retrieve something. But once again, like your soul is already gone because you traded it for something else. Consuming your dead bodies, love the idea. So a little bit like Hollow Knight, not 1-to-1, but kind of like it. Kind of. So it's like, what if, yeah, like what if like with Hollow Knight, let's say. But I mean, like, let's say, okay, so once again, going back to this idea, I get it. It's a weird idea, but a rule of cool concept, kind of. But like, so basically, like the power that you absorb throughout the run becomes your soul. So maybe like, let's say on this level, you get back to it. Let's say the first time you died, you had like a really, really strong fire attack that you really liked. And then when you died, you had to get rid of it and start with something else. And then like you didn't see it. And then when you get back here, you have the ability to pick up the fire attack. And then you pick it up, you add it to your arsenal if you can, and then you just keep moving. I don't know if that's like a great idea, but yeah. If you die, you go backwards through the run. Wait. Oh, sorry, Theory. I didn't see this message. What do you say? If you die, you go backwards through your run. There's a collectible that if you get enough, you can res. If not, run ends. It'd be interesting. The only thing is, like, what happens if you die to a boss or something? You know, like, do you have to see if you can finish fighting the boss in a certain amount of time? What if you keep reusing the same ability? What do you mean? You should limit it so you can only reuse it once. Yeah, that would be something that like you would have to think about. Like mechanically, like let's say if you had the fire attack, a lightning attack, and an ice attack, and then you pick it up, you pick up the fire attack. Let's say, you know, I would say that both the lightning and the ice attacks are therefore like reset and gone. And I think if you die, like let's say you die here, the fire attack you can't use it again because it's considered like a borrowed ability. And so then you have to like pick up an ability, you know, I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, it's like a temporary kind of power. Yeah, it's kind of that's kind of an idea. I don't know if that's like the best idea or something that we should even run with at all. I don't know how to program that gameplay wise, but it's something that like if we can make it work, that'd be really, really cool. I don't know, but like, do you guys like that idea, or are you thinking like maybe not? Because then it could even be like something where it's like if you, let's see, I don't know. Yeah, because it's like maybe it's like at the end of the round or something like that. That's when you can pick it up again. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Maybe your newly created soul through gaining collectibles in run determine the duration of your afterlife. So if a boss kills you, in that case, you have X seconds to beat him or it's over. That's an idea. It's a great and cool idea for a little hollow vessel. Let me see. I want to do this real quick. Let's do if you die, on your next run, you have the chance to pick up. Sorry, chat, like, this is how I think. You can choose to pick up one of your past life's abilities. I do think the fire attack remembering thing is cool. I appreciate it. I do like your idea as well when you said, let's see, maybe your newly created soul through gaining collectibles in a run determines the duration of your afterlife. So if a boss kills you, in that case, you have X seconds to beat him or it's over. Let's see. So, I mean, like, I guess the idea of it is... once your health hits 0, you start losing abilities. Once... Wait. Losing abilities. And you hit an immortal frenzy. Oh wait, maybe I should say... you hit a state called... I'll just call it Immortal Frenzy for now. Instead of respawning, you slowly lose your abilities. Once you lose all your abilities, you die and have to start over. So it's almost like each ability gives you like X amount of seconds, right? And so like, let's say like, it's kind of like Hades boon system kind of, where it's like, let's say you lose like your main attack and then you're just sort of left with like a basic attack. But like, I don't know if this makes any sense, or it's like the idea is like once you hit the Immortal Frenzy, you like slowly lose your abilities, but you still have the ability to fight and you try to defeat him. And if you, let's see, once you lose all your abilities, let's see, you slowly lose your abilities. If you defeat the level or boss before losing all abilities, you respawn. Let's say if you lose all your abilities and cannot and have not defeated the level or boss, you die and have to start over. Let's see. But it could be like a super broken rare power on level 1 and you die at level 2, you instantly get it back. So add a chance the ability rots, so some abilities you can't get back. Okay. Immortal Frenzy better flash across the screen in chunky block letters. Abilities have a chance of rotting, so you can't reuse it. I do like that idea. Rotting abilities also has a great theme verbiage. Assuming abilities run on cooldowns, the rot is that each use extends the cooldown by a fraction of a second. Culminative. I don't know how I would math that, but I kind of like that idea. I'm going to screenshot all this because I don't know how to, like... I don't know how to write this down, but... Let's see. There you go. I do like that idea, though. I like these ideas. I like these ideas a lot. My brain finally produced a good idea. Nah, dude, your brain always produces good ideas. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna cross this off real quick. Immortal Frenzy is a terrifically metal phrase. Thanks, I appreciate it. The pillow has been spared. Fantastic, I love to see it. Chat, thanks so much for the 8 likes. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. Let's see if we can get 10 likes. I bet we can. Alrighty, so I kind of like the idea. I actually really do like both of these ideas. Maybe, I don't know if we implement them both. I kind of like this idea a lot, though. So I'm going to keep both of them, but I think it would be really, really cool, especially for this one. But I don't know how... yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Dropping ideas, it's just spitball. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, that's what's fun about this kind of stage, you know? Is like spitballing ideas and seeing what can really stick. I do like this idea, though, quite a bit. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I had an idea with this. So with Immortal Frenzy, I'm just dubbing it that because it's funny. Let's say if the powers worked kind of like, once again, let's say it like worked like Hades, where each boon has like a rarity to them. So it's like you have like the regular common ones, then you have rare, legendary, epic, yada, yada, yada. Would they deteriorate from weak to strongest? Or strongest to weakest? I feel like thematically it would make more sense if it deteriorated weakest to strongest, but I feel like it would make more sense from like a punishing gameplay if it was strongest to weakest. I don't know. What do you guys think? I would say do not delete them, put them in another document, maybe highlight them based on idea category, mechanics, lore, etc. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, actually. Let's call this mechanics. Thoughts and such is where we spitball. And then all of these. Yeah. Weak to strongest to save some power. There is like a forgiveness to that as well. I don't know if we like the idea of having the forgiveness, but I don't know. What do we think? Could let the player choose where skills are in priority. That's an interesting idea. Is like, here, one second, let me, no forgiveness, no mercy. Let's say, like, we have, like, the skill, hold on one second, give me a second. You know, box inventory like Resident Evil, maybe skills stored lower bleed out first. I have not played Resident Evil, so I'm not entirely sure, but... I am here right now, but can't join you because I have school. Hey, Square, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully school goes well. Thank you so very much for making me part of your day. Have yourself a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Tell everyone to subscribe. Just kidding, don't do that. Unless you wanted to, I mean, whatever. Okay, so let's do a little bit of visual thinking, chat. When you guys mentioned that, like, my first thought would be this. Grid inventory is up to 2, 2, 2, 3, like Diablo as well. I haven't played Diablo either. Tell your teacher to subscribe? Yeah, do it. I know I'm an uncultured swine. Okay, so here's kind of what I was thinking when you guys were saying that. So let's say our inventory. Let's say like it was kind of like this. So let's duplicate this a few times. I think it's EJ. Yeah. So let's go back to Hades real quick. So let's say you have something kind of like this. Oh, and I'll shrink it as well. Oh. So let's have something like something kind of like this. Tell your teachers so where you place the skills in a grid determines priority. So let's say it's kind of like this, right? So let's say that you have I don't know if this is making any sense, but let's say you have like this grid, and then let's say like it deteriorates like this. So let's say that you have, let's say circle equals your main attack. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe let's try this. So let's say like you put your main attack right here. Let's say that you put your special attack right here. You do your whatever thing here. That's too close. I need something a little, there we go. You have like this attack right here. You have like this attack right here. You have this attack right here. Or something like that. So what we're saying is it would deteriorate. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like what would make sense. Gonna send it via tweet or BRB. Okay, I'm excited. Ice cream to think. I love to see it. When you want your main attack to be at the bottom. So that's kind of like where I'm kind of a little confused. But I'm saying like you could add your main attack. Let's say like the blue represents your main, like your main attack, right? Like you can move it. Right here, one second. Actually, let me do this. So let's say you get, oh dear. There we go. Okay, let's say that you have your main attack. And you're like, okay, so I got my new main attack. That's fantastic. Let's make it a little smaller. Perfect. Where do I want to place a main attack? I could put it right here, right? And then let's say like later on you get this right here. And you're like, oh, well, I kind of want it to be like right here. This attack we can say is like this right here. And maybe you can have like 2 main attacks, or like all 5 of these are like for your main attack, or maybe like you balance it out with like specials or something like that. I don't know for sure how that would work, but I mean, like, you could have like a lot of customization, and it'd be like, have like a run where like you only power up your main attack, or maybe you have a run where you only power up your special and all that. And let's do this right here. So I'm only doing this for like visual kind of helping. But let's say you do that, but then you're like, oh, well, actually, like, I guess it would go this way. 1 second. Okay, so let's say like you really like this attack right here, whether it be main or whether it be whatever. Let's say that you want it up here instead. So you do this, and then you can rearrange as you play the game, kind of thing. And then maybe like this is a main attack and this is a main attack, but like this is a special attack, this is a special attack. So it's like you have like a bunch of combos and stuff like that, like, and you combine power and stuff like that. Some people might want to play where it's very like, oh, I only have like one main attack, and then everything else is like divided equally with like all of the power. Or you can say something like, oh, like I found like 4 main attacks and then 1 special attack. I can play that way too, you know? Does that make sense? Fully back from the video, I'd probably watch the VOD. So my name is Zabit. It doesn't show my native language in the chat. Okay, I will try to remember, but I make no such promises, so I do apologize about that. All right, let me check Twitter real quick for 3 and his message. What the fetch? Square is also a pretty funny name. I'm glad you like it. Glad you like it. I'll be another couple of minutes. I want to convey it well. Okay, perfect. Sounds good. But I don't know if that makes sense. Like, do we want to have do we want to have the flexibility to say we have like 3 mechanics or something like? Hold on 1 second. Let me think about this. What if we have like a main attack? I feel like Thor right now. Goodness gracious. What if we have like a main attack? We have a special. And we have a dash. Or something like that, right? It does make sense, but I think I got a good concept to combine it all to not to worry. Don't worry about a thing. I'll try not to. Yeah, so like if we had something like weekly like this. So there's only 3 attack types in the game. Main, special, let's say dash. I guess. I don't know. And then like you pick up certain elements. Let's say that there's let's say that there's like these 5 categories too. So let's say that we have 1 second, let me do this. Then we have this. Then we have this. Then we have this. Then we have this. And these are all like types of attacks that you can have. I don't know. Every little thing is going to be all right. So let's say we call this I don't know. I feel maybe we should make it a little bit simpler. because I gotta add a pizza dish. I like pizza. I'm starving now. Goodness gracious. Okay, let me think about this. What kind of damage types? Like, not damage types. I guess I should say, like, what, all these circles look like toppings. Kind of do, don't they? What if we did... Here, let's get rid of... Let's get rid of red. Let's get rid of yellow as well. Just because I have no purpose for it. Why not? Okay. So let's say, let's duplicate, and duplicate. Okay. So let's say maybe you have something kind of like this. Excuse me. So what is like, okay, this is going to sound like a really weird question. But what are like some game mechanics that you guys think are like really, really fun? Like when it comes to playing video games, like if we could make just 3 damage types, what would we say, like, what are some like types of damage? We have like, here, one second. I'll put it in layman terms for me. Let's say, let's have Unga. One second. Let's have Unga Bunga. Let's have chip damage, and let's have crit. So something kind of like that. Ultimates? Yeah, definitely that. I don't know for sure. Now I'm just kind of thinking maybe we'll add another circle or something. You deal enough damage to get an ultimate. Unga bunga? Yeah, so it's like, what if we had like something where it was like just a big damage kind of thing, and then you have like something else that like gives occasional chip damage, and then you have something that has the ability to deal crit damage. And so like, let's say, so instead of like elements, because I was thinking like, oh, what if we did fire damage? What if we did this damage? What if we did that damage? Like, instead of that, what if there was like, I don't know, some sort of like types of damage? I don't really know if that makes any sense or if that's even fun to look at. I just don't want things to become too Wizard of Legend, if that makes sense. If you guys catch my drift. But yeah, what if we did something kind of akin to that, where it was like, my main attack is, let's see. Hold on one second. Let me do this real quick. Let me think. So here's a main attack. Let's say this one is a special attack. You sent it? All right, I will look at it as soon as I'm done with this real quick. Let's say this is a dash. Dash doesn't even need to be it. I'm just, once again, this is more helping me than anything. Just kind of like figuring out kind of my ideas. Let's say that this is a special. Yeah. And then let's say this is a main attack as well. So it's kind of like that. And so what we're saying is like your main attack can be affected twice, your special twice, and then like your dash, you only have one slot for one. Or you could even have like, I don't know if this is making any sense, but yeah. That's kind of like my kind of thought process with all of this is like, but we'll look at it. Gotta go, might be back, but bye. Hey, Pat, thank you so very much for everything that you do. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Hopefully we'll see you again very soon, my friend. You take care of yourself. See, an example given, I suggested 2 special chosens. Also, it doesn't need to be the Tetris shapes, but it could be a talisman with 6 gem slots, but 3 are 5-sided, 2 are 4 sides, and rot goes clockwise. Let's see. I don't have Twitter on my computer yet, so I'm like looking at my phone real quick. First lot's affected by the rot going up. Okay. So I guess my my question with this is, it's like, as long as I can convey it. Yeah, exactly. I actually really like this. Also, I like the idea of having a passive kind of thing. I actually really do like that a lot. Let's say, oh, hold on one second. I'm gonna make a new layer real quick. Oh, stop. Let's say that this is passive. So my question with it is, if one of your blocks gets affected, would the whole shape not work? If that makes sense. So it's like in your example, you have like the red Tetris shape that's like really tall, and then it starts affecting it like this. Like, so only one of the blocks gets affected. Does that mean the whole thing deteriorates? Because if so, I mean, like, I understand that. I'm just curious. So. Which get raw in which aspects of those skills? I would say only the blocks in the row. So I guess like if some of the shape is rotted, how like I'm just trying to like voice my thoughts and everything. So let's say if like part of the shape is rotted, would it be better just to negate the whole shape itself? And just say like that ability is no more because you put it there? Or I don't really know entirely how to make that work. Like, I don't know how to make a half ability, I guess I would say. Or like partial ability. So it's like only part of it is rotted. Are we saying that that needs to play into the game and say, for example, let's say like in your example, your main attack starts rotting? Are you saying like it starts getting weaker? Like, how do you do that? Next row up gets affected over time. The shape part rots and drops down, opening the inventory to new skill as old one dies. I would have to figure out how to make that work. And I don't know how to make that work. with my limited amount of everything, but I do like the idea. I'm just trying to think. Sorry, one second. Sorry, Chad, I'm just reading something real quick. I think the easiest way to code it would be to see how durability is dealt with in RPGs code-wise. Okay. Let me think. So, because I do like the idea of like the inventory kind of thing. I'm just wondering. I just don't want there to be like a barrier to like for people not to have fun, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any sense. I just don't want there to be like any, like, let's say if people really want these things to work out together, like I want them to have the ability to and not have there be like some sort of I don't know. Don't want inventory management to overtake it. Yeah, that is kind of my problem with it. It's a really good system and I really like it. I do just want to also keep things somewhat simple, not just for me and like learning how to code it, but also like, you know, if people you know, like want to have fun with it and all that, I don't want them to be like feel like they're limited to inventory management to see if they can like break the game, you know. Simplify it to the gym idea. What is the gym idea, out of curiosity? I do like what you're saying though. I think it'd be kind of interesting if we implemented that somehow, if it fits in the game. Maybe like before each run, like you have the ability to choose like a certain amount of items and like you have to fit it in your inventory somehow. I don't know if that would work or if that's even feasible or if that should even be a thing, but maybe like that's how you can make it kind of like a roguelite, is you have like an item guy or something where it's like, oh, you can like fit an extra healing in, but you have to like put it in your bag like along with all of this stuff. I don't know. I would have to look at it and think about it. I do like the idea a lot. I just don't know how it fits with like a really speedy, trying to be like a really snappy kind of game, if that makes sense. Because I think having like speed and snappiness is like going to be really, really important. Get 5 slots. Each slot has X number of sided gems that can fit. Specials can fit into some, mains and others. And the gems just break over time. That is fair. So are you saying like instead of like this... why don't we do something kind of like... one second, I'm going to do this just because it'll be a little bit easier for me to manage all of this. Okay. So what if we did something kind of like this instead? So let's say you have, instead of 5 slots, I just said 5 just because, but why don't we have 4 slots, right? It'd be styled any way you like, yeah. Okay, I'm kind of thinking, oh, hold on a second. So why don't we do something kind of like this? Oh. Passive. Okay, let's get rid of this real quick. Okay, I'm trying to think of also, oh, 1 second. Something kind of like, I'm saying specials come in 3, hold on 1 second. Let's see. Specials come in 3 sides and 5 passives and 3 and 6. Dashes are only 4 and 6. Of the 4 slots you have 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to fill. I mean, that's an idea. Sorry, I'm just thinking of like a entirely different thing right now. So hold on 1 second. I'm looking at, let me look at the level design real quick that I made. So let's say, we have this. Sorry, I'm like thinking really roughly. So there's technically like 3 areas. Technically, let's see, there's 4 shops, maybe like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 chances per 3 air. No, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so there's 15 chances to grab certain amounts of power. I'll follow your lead. No, I appreciate. Sorry, my brain is like so fried sometimes, and like I just have to like get something out, even if it's like completely different from what we're talking about. So okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Yo, what's up? What's up, Yubi? How you doing? Welcome onto the stream. Thanks for dropping in, like, sharing love. How you doing, my friend? So there's 15 chances to get abilities. So let's say like in a run there is 15 abilities. Let me write this down real quick. So 15 possible abilities. I love scratch writing, don't you? So you have 15 possible abilities, and then you have like 4 big attacks, like four main forms of damage. How do you divide 15 by 4? Obviously it's not even, but let me think about this. No, I'm talking about your consciousness when reminds dislike the interruption. 15 divided by 4. So that's 3 and change. So let's say to squeeze it and make it so like people have to like choose and everything, while still having like some sort of like brokenness to it. Yeah, okay. So let's say with your main, you have like 2 slots that you can fill. Let's say with your special, 2 slots, dash 2 slots, passive 2 slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That means that you can only have... Let's see, can... My handwriting's terrible on this. Can only... I wish I had my pen. Have 8 active abilities. So that means throughout your run, you'll have to give up 9, 10. You have to give up 7 of them. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. I think that's not enough give. I wonder if this is too much. I don't know, though. I think it's fine. Trying to think. But yeah, so let's say like you come across like along the way, like with the 15, 15. I guess possible abilities isn't the right thing to say. I think actually, hold on a second. Let's see, 15. Ability chances. So you have, okay, hold on a second. Braining. Where is it? Okay. So let's say, in this case, here, let me move this for it to make sense. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. So let's say like right here on the first level, you pick up an ability that's like, oh, do this kind of damage. And you're like, cool, I'm going to put it into here or something like that. Maybe the abilities can have 2 things going for it. Maybe it can have the ability itself, and then it's how do I word this? Let's say oh, that's just not how you spell it. You have your ability, which has like the ability itself, and then it has a rot point or something like that. Padded pending. So with each ability that you pick up, it has a designated rot point. And so like, let's say that the rot point is really high. Then that means that like it takes longer for it to rot away during your immortal frenzy. If it has a lower point, that means that it's quicker to go away. And I think that like it should be random every time. Like if you can make the randomness happen. So like for example, let's say that you have, let's go back to the example of a fire attack. Once again, I'm just going elemental. I don't know if like we should go elements. Once again, I don't want to make this Wizards of Legend, but so let's say that you have a fire ability. Like let's say it's a fire say it's a fire main attack. It does something something, but the cost of it is that it has a, let's say like a 3 rot point. So that means that like on a scale of, on a scale of 1 to 10, so like 1s will deteriorate first, 2s, then 3s, then 4s, then 5. Maybe we'll just cut it to 5 just to keep things simple. I mean, obviously, once we like actually get into the game building itself, then it'll make a little bit more sense. But yeah, so 1 to 5, and then this has a 3 rot point. So like during the countdown, it'll go like it'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I guess like 1s would deteriorate the least. So it'd be kind of like, oh, that's too small. It'd be kind of like this. So from 5 to 1, it would count down, and then like everything that hits 5 will be like the first thing to go, and then 4, 3, 2. I guess it would be rot order, so it would be 1. Whatever. That doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is like there would be an order of things to go, and it's always random. And maybe the bosses like will give out awards that are always 1. But let's say you get like a fire main attack with a 3 point or a 3 rot point. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's kind of like the idea of what I'm kind of going for with this idea. So let's say like you have this, and then you want to put your main. So I guess this wouldn't actually matter, the arrow. What's up, Deb? How you doing? Welcome on into the stream. Right now we're just like spitballing ideas and such. So let's say you put this ability in your main. It doesn't really matter the order or anything like that. It's just you have your fire attack right here. Maybe you have like a water attack right here. And then maybe like this rot point is 3, this one's rot point is 1. So this will deteriorate, but this will keep going. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my head, that's kind of where I'm going. Also, I know 3 that we're kind of the only ones talking about it right now, which is totally fine. But, like, I think that keeps things simple, while still making things, like, complex enough to be like, okay, well, this is a rot point of this. I don't know this, that, the other. I don't know if that's, like, a good idea. I don't know. Yeah. I think something that I want to do for my own sanity is keep things really simple because of me and like just learning how to code things. But I also want there to be, so it's like when you're playing it, I'm more worried, like if I think of it, I'll figure out a way to work with it. I'm thinking of this like as a player standpoint of like, okay, I got this ability. Let's say like, oh, I now have like a lightning. Yellow does not show up that well. Let's do something else. Let's do, I don't know what kind of damage types are. Let's do poison. Sure. Say that there's like a poison damage main attack. And let's say that this rot point is for the fire. Let's say it's 3. Rot point of this one is 1. And then the rot point of this one is 4. So now you have to weigh out, well, this is a better combo, or like having this would be a better combo here. But you also have this. But you also have to think about the numbers. Like, 1s will deteriorate last. So I want this one, and maybe I don't want this one at all because it has a higher rot point. If that makes sense. About decisions in run? Yeah, 100%. I think I get it. Simple but good choices. Yeah, that's like, once again, I don't know if it's like the best thing that we're going for. I like your idea a lot, but I think the complexity of it, one, would be a lot for me to figure out, and two, makes things slow down once you get an ability. Like this one is like a lightning fast. Okay, this is synergizing better with this. However, like there's also this synergy. However, it also has a rot point of 4, which is worse than both of these combined, you know? So like at the end of the day, how am I going to pick my poison? So maybe it's high risk, high reward, make the higher rot a tad more powerful. Yeah. I think that's perfect. I think that I 100% agree with that. But I think it would also be really good for bosses to be the strongest while still having lower rot points, if that makes sense. All good. Hope others are doing fine. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're doing good, 3 also, by the way. And Deb, I'm glad that you seem to be doing good. I really do appreciate you being here. Hopefully you're having fun. So, yeah, I think bosses should just have... Here, let's actually write this down in the rules. Okay, also, I need to save... Let's call this power mechanic rough sketch, or let's do rough idea. Power mechanic rough idea. So let's do this with the mechanics. Let's say, let's do this. Okay, I like this idea and I'll keep it here, but I think I'm going to cross it out just to be like, I'm not really going for it, but it's there if we need it. Where's the thing? I have the thing. There it is. Okay, that way I can still read it, but it's not really a focus right now. So let's say, let's see, abilities have a connected rot point. The better, well, let's say the more powerful the ability, the higher the rot point. Thus the, or let's say thus the abilities run off of the idea. High risk, high reward. Boss abilities will always have a low rot point, however. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is like yes, like any ability that you buy or any ability that you find in the wild or anything like that, most of the time the better that it is, the higher the rot point. However, with bosses, I think like they should be just better because they're a very good ability but has a low rot point, if that makes sense. That's at least like kind of the idea that I am kind of feeling, because it's like I don't want the boss abilities to be like really good and then just like the second that you start dying you lose it. I think like part of their significance is that they're good and they have low cost. So yeah, I don't know. What are we thinking about that though, chat? What are we thinking about that? Oh, hold on one second, chat. Let me just do this. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking something. So, okay, also I need to just get rid of all this because I don't really need it right now. So, I kind of like this idea. I think that's a really, really cool concept. I think, yeah. I like it if the boss rewards are more iconic or better as a player. You'd want them longer naturally. Yeah, so I guess that's the other idea is like... like I said, I don't want like I don't know like if basic elements is like good enough for a power system, but I'm trying to think like maybe like there's something really special about the bosses and their abilities that you can't find in the wild. So maybe like what if like for example all the abilities are always like basic elements, so you have like your fire, water, lightning, wind, yada yada yada, but then let's say with the bosses they have something like, you know, just off the top of my head, let's just say like they have a golden ability or something where it's like gold is implied, yada. Like I said, it doesn't have to be gold, it's just like something that each of them kind of have in common that you can't find out in the wild. Naga weird. I'm back from school. I thought there was school, but there wasn't. I'm back from school that doesn't exist. Oh. How you doing, Square? Also, chat, thanks so much for the 10 likes. I really do appreciate it. And thank you so very much for everyone's patience as I try to figure out all of this. So, I guess, like, whatever the bosses give, it should be something very different. I don't know. School disappeared? School just vanished, apparently. Okay, so... yeah. Oh, hold on one second. Oh, I saved it as a JPEG, so okay, that's fine. Okay. So... yeah. As of right now, I need to think about, like, what kinds of damage do we want? And, like, what would make things interesting and what would make things good? Because right now, my brain is, like, so fried for what we can do. I mean, we don't even have to think about it right now, but I like the 4 elements, but you could have the elements be instead weakness in one's humanity, like avarice, greed, cowardice, and just give them the effects you would for fire. Have the elements be instead, and just give them the effects that you would for fire. Cowardice deals damage over time. Am I saying this right? Avarice? I don't know if I'm really good. Enemy slows the enemy attacks as they think they are above you. Interesting. Okay. I guess, like, I guess would we want, like, some sort of magics, though? Like... I don't know. Maybe... Here's the other thing is, like, I know that, like... animating, like, fire and stuff like that, I don't know if I'll be able to make that good, but... yeah. Like, apple... Avarice. Oh, okay. I wonder if I, like... I mean, I know, like, that's really, really cool, 3, and I really like that idea, but, like... I wonder how flashy that would make the game. But at the same time, I don't know if I do elements. Avarice. Dude, you're a really good teacher. I like that. I just don't know how, like, flashy that would make the game. I'm wondering, like, if part of it, like, we could also just combine colors. Like, if you had, like, violet, scarlet, emerald, and, like, this, that, the other, and they, like, each color does a certain effect. I don't know if that would be even that cool. I kind of like the idea of the, but, like, elements being said weakness in one's humanity. So what's your thought process behind the weakness of one's humanity? Out of curiosity, I like the thematicness of it. I'm just wondering, like, how to, I mean, you could even, like, assign a certain color to it to make it a little bit more flashy and everything, but I guess, like, why weakness in one's humanity? Is it because we don't have a soul, or is it because of, like, something else? Like, what is your thought process behind it? Because I like it. I'm just kind of curious. I am just a curious lad. Okay, so we need to think about... Okay, I do like that we actually came up with these mechanics, because that's actually really, really cool. And I'll have to figure that out. And once again, I'm not going to be able to implement any of this until a lot later, but I imagine this character's struggle and him weaponizing the things that slow him down. Okay. Let's see. So I guess the other thing of it is, like... So the other part of it is, like... The lore of it is, like... The immortal takes away the vessel's soul to absorb the powers of those around him. So... But are we saying, like, instead of it being, like, you know, when you think of, like, wizard power and stuff like that, like with fire and cool stuff like, are we, I mean, could the themes even be, like, she gives you the ability to weaponize humanity's weaknesses? And we could have that be, like, a big thing of it? I don't know if that's mechanics or lore. Maybe it's mechanics. So let's say... Let me actually look this up. Weaknesses of one's humanity. So I'm just it's cool moral implications. I was about to say, if we're going Dark Souls and everything, I think that's pretty cool. So here's my question: is where did you come up with avarice, greed, cowardice, and then yeah, like. Sorry, I'm just trying to think, like, but you know what? I'm just gonna do this. We're gonna look it up together. Oh dear. What? Okay. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to put you here, and you I will put right here. So let's say vessel. Let's say vessel weaponizes weaknesses of humanity. And if we're looking for 4 in particular, or are we? I don't know. Maybe there's like a bunch of. I started with 7 deadly sins and then turned to things that people do that can be beneficial or a hindrance depending on if they encounter boundaries. I see. Let's see. I like how I'm a Christian and I'm making sure that I know the 7 deadly sins. Top 7 sins. Watch the 7 dead. No, it was just. Oh. In the Roman Catholic Church are pride, greed, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, and sloth. Okay. People can be greedy and it can work out for them, but sometimes you get too greedy and it blows up in your face. Okay. Yo, what's up, Nova? How you doing? Let's see. Oh my gosh, hold on. My brain is firing on all neurons. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Oh my gosh. Chat, we've we've done it. We've cracked the code. We've cracked it. So we can have like 7. Yeah, hold on one second. Is that way too like? Hold on one second. Let me think about this. Okay, so we have pride. Sorry, you're trying to make a game. What kind of game? Oh, friend. Give me a second, and I will tell you a little bit about what we got going on. Pride, greed, wrath. Let's see, envy, lust, gluttony, sloth. Okay. So once again, I'm just writing things down to write things down. I'm not saying that we're actually gonna like do all 7 of them. I would like to think of some ideas. So okay, so Nova, basically the game that we're coming up with right now, this is gonna be my first game. So obviously, like, I'm trying to learn the basics of game design, but at the same time, I want to like start aiming for something kind of bigger. So I am going to be trying to make a platformer roguelike with Souls elements, with Souls elements being like the lore isn't just flat out told to you, and then it's just like the bosses are a little bit more like test some endurance and all that. But the main focus of it is you go to a platform, fight a boss. Then you start over again, platformer, boss, and so on and so forth until you reach the final boss. So it's kind of like the idea that I'm going for. But yeah, so right now I'm just kind of coming up with like a few little rough ideas for mechanics and everything. Would it be smart to include every single sin as a mechanic? Nova, cool. Love that. Thanks, Nova. You're cool. Sorry, Chad, I'm just making sure that this is not important. I think we're good. Okay. So, okay, let's see. What, like... Okay. 3, you were saying greed. Let's see. Beneficial or hindrance. Okay. Let's see. Greed. Okay. Trying to think of like something that would make for fun gameplay mechanics. I think maybe it would be best to cut back on some and just make them like... Let's see if there's 7 of them. Let's see, what would be good gameplay mechanics for each of them, and then which ones, like... Okay, pride would be like a power boost. Very simple, I guess. Greed would be like, let's see, I mean, like, greed, like lifesteal, that's an idea. Actually, I like that a lot more than the money thing. Lifesteal. I guess pride, I mean, would pride be a power boost or would wrath be... I don't know, like... I don't know, envy, we'll come back to wrath. If I just can't think of something off the top, feels like damage. Yeah, I was about to say. Let's do wrath is... I'll just call it power boost for right now. I don't know if that's actually what we're... Like viciousness, yeah. I would agree. Envy... Let's see, gluttony. Let me think. Okay. Let's see if there's anything good for envy, just right off the top of my head. Lust, is there anything off the top of my head? Gluttony. Let's see, how I know like what gluttony is, but how do they define it? Gluttony, and like how is it different than what we were thinking? Gluttony, habitual greed or excess in eating. So would gluttony be like the more money thing, or like something to do with your money? I don't know if like... I'm just going to put this down just as an idea. Because maybe it's like you can have like certain attacks like based off of different things. Let's say actually lifesteal. Let's make this like HP or something like that. And then... And like all of its attacks are based off of your HP or the enemy's HP. Wrath is like just your attack. Like your base attack. That one's pretty... easy. Personal life drain to fill the wallet. Yeah, it's something like that. So it's like different stats affect each of the sins in a different way. And like sloth, yeah, that's a... I mean, let's see. So realistically, I don't really want a mana bar or anything like that in this. I kind of want it to be simple and say like... Let's see. So you have your health, your currency. Trying to think of like anything else in the game that would matter. Like, would stamina? Actually, like, if we're making it kind of Souls-like, I think having a stamina bar would be really cool. But, like... Have to run for a bit. Wish you luck if I don't catch you before the end of the stream. No worries, man. Good luck with whatever you are doing. Thank you so much for being here at all. I appreciate it. But stamina... Where would stamina... I mean, like, sloth is, like, the lack thereof. Okay, what is pride by definition? Feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements. Consciousness of one's own dignity. Be especially proud of. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Greed. Wrath, envy. What is envy by definition? Basically, like you want something that you don't have. Okay, I don't know if that would work. Let's see, 1, 2, we have 3 of them. I guess, like, hold on one second, let me, sorry chat, I'm like just doing a bunch of busy work right now. Sloth, meaning, or by definition, habitual disinclination to exertion, laziness. Okay. And then like indifference and everything like that. So I feel like having it attached to sloth like makes the most sense, but it's also like, I don't know for sure. Just saw a video called Why You Should Not Use Godot Engine or something like that. I mean, there's a bunch of reasons why you should. There's a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't. There's just a bunch of reasons to use something and a bunch of reasons not to use something, I guess. I don't know, actually. Maybe like having sloth be the lack thereof. I think that just doesn't really make too much sense. I think maybe it just falls under pride by default. If it works for your game, then use it. If it doesn't, then don't. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, well, let's see. Sloth, envy, and lust. Hold on one second. What is the difference between greed and gluttony? Because that's actually like something that I'm kind of wondering about, like from a gameplay perspective, like how could we justify that? Basically all game engines in a nutshell, yeah. Let's see. Let me think. Basic animalistic levels, greed and gluttony are similar. An insatiable desire for more. Being gluttonous or greedy for money. Okay. Sins were between the individual and God. Okay, so maybe we'll switch greed with currency. And then gluttony we can, I don't know if I like that though. I just feel like maybe we don't even worry about stamina and not having like something like that. Let's see. Pride, greed, and wrath. Just oh wait, hold on one second. It seems that I have made a mistake. Let's see. Pride Okay, hold on. Sorry, chat. My brain is braining. What are the 7 deadly sins? Okay, we have greed. We have pride. I'm trying to think. So it's like, I like the idea of there being HP powers, money powers, and just like your, like overall just like power boosting. So let's see. Wrath makes sense with power boosts. That's totally fine. Greed makes sense with the currency. I think that's totally fine. Now HP, does it make more sense with sloth? I don't think so. Pride, gluttony, lust, or envy. I think with HP, let's see, pride, definition. Derived of one's own achievements, especially proud. I mean, I guess so. I guess for just like this. Yeah, just to keep it simple, I guess we'll just keep it at the 3 of the 7. Or they're like, Or would it make more sense if greed was like absorbing something and like it could absorb more money, but it could also like absorb more health and stuff like that. So let's see, let's do greed absorb. And I look back at the 7 deadly sins real quick. Okay. Wrath is like your power boost, which is fine. I don't know. What do you need in a game that's as simple as like moving and then fighting? And let's see, you need your and we have things like a passive. Oh gosh, sorry, my brain is like so fried right now. I might actually end it pretty soon because my creativeness is just starting to like just get fumbled. Let's see. I mean, maybe we can weaponize all of them and just say like, let's see, pride is like a defense boost. Completely understandable. Yeah, normally like I do try to like call it whenever I am getting fried, but I think like I hit a little bit of a stride here. But let's see. So sloth is speed. Let's do I feel like greed and gluttony are like 2 different things. Let's do greed as like, once again, let's do money. And it's like money-based attacks and everything like that. Or like the less currency you have, or the more, like basically like this should be creative with that. Wrath is your power boost. Sloth is your speed. Where it can affect you or others. Let's try... Also, I spelled defense completely wrong. So that's your defenses. Let's do envy. Let's do envy as like a copying kind of ability or something like that. And then lust can be something like a hypnosis or something like that, where it's like you can hypnotize people to like attack for you for like a brief second, or like you make people immobilized or things like that. That's just kind of like how I'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm missing one. Let's see. So we have pride, greed, wrath, sloth, envy, lust, and then gluttony will be our absorption. And whether or not that's like absorbing more life or more stamina or something along those lines. Or like every swing of your sword heals you for like a little bit, or, you know, things like that. So, okay. Okay. Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, okay. I like that. I actually like that quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to pause on that. Just so... Okay, we didn't get to the rough platformer sketches, which is fine. All right, hold on. Instead of deleting it, let's do... some game mechanics. I'll just add that. Okay, we didn't get to any of this. Maybe I'll just do it briefly, just while we have like... I don't have that much time, but I do have a tiny little bit. So maybe what I'll do is... like, for the channel content, I'm thinking it would be really, really good if we... kind of kept it simple once... let's see, game focused vids. But that's not going to be until like a little bit later down the road. So I think for member benefits, what I'll do is I will updates, game nights. And that's like a bunch of etceteras, and like I'll plan to like do stuff like that. Discord, I want it to be open to everyone. Members get extra. Like I said, like I wanted to just barely touch up on some of these. But yeah. So, very interesting. So this gives me a couple of good ideas to work on and everything. My homework is to continue with Godot tutorial. I do need Discord help with my friend Richard, maybe. And then what is some other homework? Let's say come up with 2 powers per ability type. Let's do 2 abilities per ability type. So there's 7 ability types, and then coming up with 2. I think that'll be Totally fine. And that's just something to push me creatively. Like this will push me technically. This will be its own thing. But then coming up with 2 abilities per ability type, I think that'll just be like a fun little thing just for me to figure out off the sideline. So that's going to be my homework for tonight. But yeah, chat, I think that's going to be it for today. I really do appreciate your guys' just willingness to be here. Hopefully you guys like these kinds of streams as I figure things out. I think things will be a lot more fun once I get into... Sorry, one second. I think things will be a lot more fun once I get into things like actually like programming and stuff like that. Right now we're very much in the rough ideas of everything, and that's totally fine. But yeah, once I start learning Godot a lot more, I think we'll be able to really take off and have a lot more fun, like actually watching me create the game. Once again, that might not be for a little while, but I really do appreciate you guys having fun with this and for all the good ideas. You guys are very creative, very fun. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, though. Let's see. Today is Wednesday, right? Yep, today's Wednesday. So yeah, I'm going to be back again tomorrow for another stream. Hopefully you guys have a fun time. Game Theory is coming for you. I mean, if they still exist. But yeah, so yeah, thank you guys so very much for bouncing off ideas and just, you know, I really do appreciate you guys just being a fun time. Hopefully you guys had a fun time. I had a really good time. But yeah, so I'll be back again tomorrow for another stream. And yeah, we will see you guys again tomorrow at 5 p.m. EST. Thank you guys so very much for everything. Hopefully you guys have yourself a wonderful day, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, you guys, love, peace, and chicken grease. Bye-bye. We'll see you guys tomorrow.